We got it. Talk about the Maybach.
Hey!
Talk about the Maybach.
Maybach. Hey! I do the time off.
I took the top of Maybach.
Hey!
I just had to.
That was amazing. Best introduction ever.
You got another one.
All right, that's it, folks. Have a good night now.
Happy Saturday. Tonight I have Jamison, who is a dear friend and just a remarkable human being. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight and just, have you to help inspire my audience and get to connect with you and catch up, because we always have a freaking blast together if you haven't seen. So I met Jamison actually in the Facebook Live community, and it's just so interesting how we get to know people at such like a deep level, where when we first met at the Tony event, I felt like I already knew you. And we had a good time there with everybody. And then during Unblinded, you let a couple of us stay at your house, and that was a blast. So yeah, that was just amazing. I'm so happy to get to know you and love you and be able to hang out and have fun. And then part of also that time when I was staying with you for Unblinded, I got to know like where you came from and your history and your story. And it just like really touched my heart, because you're just such a happy-go-lucky, like free-spirited person. And then just to hear about like all you're doing and all you've done is just super fucking inspiring. So can you tell everybody a little bit about what you do?
Yes, of course. Thank you for inviting me on. Right now I have an e-commerce business. I sell on Amazon.com for a living. I've been doing it for 6 years. I've also done like coaching to help other Amazon aspiring entrepreneurs like build their business. I've been doing it for 6 years full time. And I actually got into this from like when I used to be a drug addict, and I went to rehab like 4 times. And I couldn't find a job anywhere after I got clean. And so I actually fell onto this because I couldn't find any other ways to make money, because like Walmart and Target wouldn't hire me to like push carts. So just Googled, YouTubed how to make money online, and I found this, and it stuck, and it worked, and stuck at it. And I've been here ever since.
It's amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you speak on a stage for Amazon?
I have a couple times now. Yeah. I spoke last year in Canada at it's called the Greater North Ecom event. It was like 170 people. I was the opening speaker for that, and I shared my story. And then I also spoke again. Oh, excuse me, the wine. And I also like just taught people how to like make money online and shared my journey. When I started doing this originally, I traveled around the country for 3 years doing this, sleeping in hotels, in and out of Airbnbs, and just traveling and documenting my story as I went. So then they invited me to speak to like share that story.
It's amazing. It's remarkable. Yeah. And I see even when we hang out, like when we would go to Starbucks, you would check out like the sales and stuff. So your mind's always on like, all right, I see this I could probably sell this for $5. I got for $1. Like, that's amazing.
When we crewed UPW in November, I went to Starbucks with Maria and some other 20 people. We were all crewing. We took a break, and I was in there like looking for items that were profitable. I like bought some and like stuffed them in my backpack and brought them back to UPW.
See, I picked up on that. I saw that. Yeah. So, wow, that's amazing. So I also wanted to ask you, I know you live in New Jersey now, and I've been there, but where are you originally from?
Born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Minnesota, nice.
Minnesota. That's right, baby.
And was that like part of like the years that you were traveling that you wound up in Jersey, or did you have like your goals set on like New York, New Jersey area?
I lived in Minnesota, and then I left Minnesota because I was just had a toxic life. I moved to Nashville for like a year, and then I kind of went back and forth from Nashville to Minnesota, and then I left Minnesota and came to Jersey for a little while, and then I traveled And then I just like, I've been to about 45 states, 44, 45 states. And I just like fell in love with New Jersey, New York area. Like out of all the places I've been, like I love the energy of New York. So I just wanted to like be close to that at all times.
So cool. I feel like you are a New Yorker, man.
Or
maybe
like
you're just cool. I don't know.
I don't know what one feels like.
I feel like you're more of a New Yorker than I am. Like when we're in the city, you're just like, yeah, Joe's Pizza. Like, what's up? I'm like, what's Joe's Pizza?
Who's Joe?
Oh my gosh. So how's this whole experience been for you? Is it different? Like, I mean, personally, work-wise, like what kind of changes have you been dealing with throughout it all?
Work-wise, it's been really good. Personally, like I have my days being by myself, like isolation does get tough, but I started to like force myself to get outside and exercise more and eat healthier. But like work-wise, things are amazing. I had to like definitely pivot a lot because like I used to like buy my products in store. And since a lot of the stores that I shop at are closed, I had to like relearn everything over the last like 2 months. And now I buy everything online and have it shipped to my house and then I ship it to Amazon. So like things are going really, really good right now. Because like sadly, when people got their stimulus checks, I sell like a lot of toys and video games and like shampoo and like beauty products and like toys and video games, like sales just skyrocketed after everybody got their stimulus check. So sadly, I think a lot of people might have used them on like non-essential type stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, that whole gamer life. I'm not gonna lie. The week I wasn't at work yet, I was playing Super Nintendo. Like that was like damn. Like I kind of miss it. It's kind of inspiring me right now. We'll hit that up later. So what video games do you sell mostly? Is it like that Switch thing or like what? I need to be more into knowledge.
Yeah, I've been selling a lot of Nintendo Switches because they're like, I've been selling like a lot of things that are more like group family oriented, like where you can play as a group because people are stuck at home. So like the Nintendo Switch is like the most common system on the planet, but now that everybody's stuck at home, everybody wants to buy one. Also, like I've been selling puzzles. Like,
oh my gosh.
Like
I just brought my puzzle in here. Yeah,
I'm selling $10 puzzles for like $80. Like people are crazy, like paying that. I'd rather draw on my wall than pay that much for a puzzle.
I'd rather draw on my wall. I gotta tag my friend Sam in this because all she does is puzzles. She's got like the headlamp, you know, like she's like, you know, her thumbs have like blisters on them. I totally get it. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. That's good though that you're killing it. And you pivoted. I feel like that's the entrepreneurial word right now. I should try to sell my Jenny from the chopping block magnets. Upsell them. I'm gonna give you
one. You made magnets? Oh my gosh, I love those.
Cute, right? You want one?
Yeah, that's amazing. Of course.
Awesome. I'll send you one.
I don't have any magnets on my fridge. That would be the one and only one that's on my fridge.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to everybody that's been on the show.
That's like awesome.
Thank you. Those. Yeah. So Jamison, I wanted to touch on a little bit about you shared with me when I stayed with you about, you know, how you grew up and how you overcame some of the things, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, of course.
I think it would help somebody out there.
I hope so. Yeah. Whatever you want to ask, any questions, I'm an open book.
Okay. So you mentioned to me that as a child you were homeless at one point. Is that true?
When I was like doing drugs and stuff, like I did get kicked out. Like, and I wasn't like homeless. Like I was like moving from place to place, and I kept burning all my bridges, stealing for drugs, and like they would find out, we'd have to leave, go to another place. And my mom kicked me out because I stole $60 from her to buy drugs. And then I left and went to the girlfriend's family's house, and we stole a bunch from there. and then left. And so, yeah, like I kept getting kicked out and stuff. And then I burned all my bridges basically. And I had like no choice but to go back to rehab for the fourth time. And then it finally stuck after the fourth time.
What do you think during that period, like worked? Like what was your turning point throughout? I've been to rehab too. So I kind of know the journey.
To be honest, like if I didn't keep like screwing up, and like I probably would have still been doing drugs till I died. Like I got fired from my job like a couple months beforehand. And like I just like didn't have any other options to get money. I couldn't manipulate people or like, you know, do any type of thing to get money. So I literally had no choice, and I couldn't handle the withdrawals like of not having the drug. So like I had no choice. Like it was like rehab or freaking, you know, go through the withdrawals, and I couldn't do that mentally. So I went to rehab, and then they put me on medication and crap to like help me stay sober in a sense, and it stuck and it worked. And
That's
so,
amazing.
yeah.
Thank God. Wow. And so what brought you into personal development? I feel like I've asked you this question, but I want to hear more.
Let's see. Well, I like on my Amazon journey, building my business, like, you know, I was still like had like in a sense, like, while I was traveling the country doing the Amazon and stuff, I was basically like, now that I look back, I was just running from my problems. So like I would be in a different place every day. So I never had to deal with issues, deal with emotional crap, or deal with any problems that I was facing. I would just travel and not have to deal with it. And I eventually like, you know, like thought like, you know, the things I needed to be happy in life were like if I made good income, or if I dated, you know, attractive women, or you know, like had a cool job and stuff like that. So like I built my Amazon like business, like in the sense of like, okay, like if I make, you know, X amount of dollars, I'm going to be happy. And I did everything I could to like hit my income that I wanted, and I hit it, and I wasn't happy. And then so like I would be traveling, and like I'm, you know, eat at nice places, travel to Miami, to, you know, LA, like flying on planes and stuff. And like on my Instagram and Facebook looked amazing. Like if I weren't me, I'd be like, fuck, that guy has an awesome life. But like I wasn't happy. I was happy in a sense, but I wasn't happy. And I just kept like figuring out what it was. And I thought it was like traveling and making money and doing all this stuff. I thought those were the things that I needed to like be successful and happy. And I just was miserable. And then like, you know, I started like learning how to like reading dating books, and I hired a dating coach. And then I started, you know, I started dating, you know, girls that I wasn't used to dating, like, and like I got into a really toxic relationship, and like that like really effed me up. We were both toxic people, and we just were, you know, not good for each other. And so that kind of is what led me to personal development. I was like super overweight. I was miserable in my life, like absolutely just miserable. And a friend of mine invited me to Tony Robbins' event in San Jose in 2018. And like I knew who he was, like Tony Robbins was. I watched like some of his videos. I was into Eric Thomas and stuff then. And like I saw actually found out who Tony Robbins was from, I don't know if you've seen the movie Shallow Hal.
Yeah.
That's how I know, that's how I found out who Tony Robbins was. But like I always knew who he was, and I heard he had events and stuff. My friend invited me. I was like, I need something, you know, I want to change. I'm miserable. I'm depressed as shit. I don't, you know, I was like at the point of pivoting, like, do I even want to live anymore? Like, so I was like, yeah, let's go. And we flew out there and we went. And I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to one. I didn't do any research, you know, at all. I just know he was a motivational speaker, and I went.
Like, what the fuck?
And I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit?
You still do that sometimes, but you love it.
Yeah, I love it now. But like we get there, UPW starts, the energy is nice. Everybody's fucking high-fiving and hugging me. And I'm just fucking miserable, just fucking human being. And in my mind, you know, I'm high-fiving back, but I'm just like, get the fuck away from me. I'm like, just stop touching me. Like, and like throughout the event, I'm just like, there's no fucking way people are this happy. Like, that's just not, like, this is not real. Like, is this? And like, I just like was like mentally, physically, emotionally just drained in life. So like being there, like I was just very tired. I would be like getting stadium coffee and stadium junk food that they were serving there. And I would like fall asleep in my chair. I would be on my phone.
Even in the cold like that? Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. And I would leave. I'd walk around the stadium for hours, and then like I would like even skip time. I'd go to the hotel and sleep, and like it was like I enjoyed it to a sense, and I did learn some stuff, and I'm happy that I went. But like I probably did maybe probably 10% wise. And after it was over, me and my friend parted ways, and I went back to my miserable existence, we'll say, like, and I still was unhappy. And the relationship was not going good. It was just really, really bad. It got to a point where I had to get a restraining order against her and go to court. Like, because we were living together at the time, and she got, the marshal came and like told her she had to go or whatever. And after that was over, I was even more depressed and more unhappy and more miserable. And I fucking just didn't know what to do. And then like, I think I saw like a Facebook ad or something. And Tony Robbins I think this was like around like maybe like August, or I don't even remember, maybe like summertime ish. And I had seen like a thing that Tony Robbins was coming to New Jersey in November. And like, without even like thinking much about it. Okay, yeah, and I ended up going. And without even really thinking about it, I hit my friend up that had previously invited me. I'm like, yo, let's do this. Let's commit to this. Let's do this. Bought a ticket, paid for the Airbnb right away. So it's like, at this point, I'm already committed. Like, we bought the tickets and we paid for the Airbnb for a week. So that way we'd have a few days beforehand so we could kind of mentally prepare. And so this gave me about 3 months to prepare. And so I just kind of like, I started exercising a little bit, just getting like, and like losing weight and just kind of like building up my mental and physical and emotional like sanity. Like I still wasn't fully 100%, but like I ended up going into the event, knowing what to expect and like ready for it this time. I was more prepared. And I went to the event and I absolutely loved it the second time. And I actually like participated, I learned, and I like sucked it all in. I was ready for all the high fives and the hugs. And like at this point, like I did enjoy that. And I did, and we did the event, and I did like everybody has, was Dickens process or whatever.
Yeah.
And that like fucked me up like majorly.
I
like
still
it just
don't
like
feel like I've actually surrendered to that yet.
it's tough because the first time I didn't.
Worrying about everybody else.
Yeah, for real though, huh? The second time, like I didn't really connect with it, but it still got me to think.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like think like far back and far ahead. And it was like, I wasn't like screaming like like people are and stuff like that. And I like cried a little bit, but like after it was done and over, like the event was over, my friend parted ways. He went back to Connecticut, and like I stayed in Jersey, and I got another Airbnb there by myself. And like a few days had gone, like I went to my Airbnb and I was like drinking, and stuff, like a couple, like for a few nights, and like just back to being miserable again. Like, I don't know, something about the Dickinson thing. Just
can I just pause for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
I've never seen you so far as when we're friends. Like, I can't even imagine what you are to be miserable or sad, because you're so fun and your energy is always happy and like cool and fun. I don't, not that I'm saying it's not okay to
yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah, like my friends that I've been friends with for like a few years, like when I tell them things that happened in my past, they're like, no way, like that's not you, like there's no way, like, so like I get it, like it's hard to believe that, like, but
I like happy Jamison.
Oh my gosh, me too. He's so awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so my friend, we parted ways, and like I was at my next Airbnb, and like I just got to the point where I was just fucking miserable again. Like I was like I was like 240 pounds, just like unhappy with my life. I was unhappy with everything I had done. I was just like miserable, like with the person I had, what I became, and what I was, and I thought I got all these things, I'd be happy, and I was just fucking wreck afterwards. And like I just like fucking just like, it was like, I remember like I was like, one night I just like broke down. I was just like crying like hysterically in my car, and like I just fucking was like teeter-totting I'm between of like, what the fuck do I want to do with my life and what am I here for? Like, and like, I was like bawling and like, I like was like in my head, I was just like, fuck, I wish I like had a gun, you know, like I could kill myself, but like not in the sense of like having to go through any more pain. And like, I was like, fuck, you know, I didn't like where my mind was going.
It's
So I ended up
interesting
going to
that
the,
you say that you made that distinction, because I've you know, been involved with the suicide prevention and all that, and you know, I've tried to kill myself twice, and I've had 3 people close to me die from suicide. And it's funny, I'm curious to where you said that, because that's it. Like, nobody who does it wants to actually die. That's not that's not the goal. It's just
no, not at all.
it's just to stop feeling the way you don't want to feel that way anymore. And
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
where did I'm curious, like that's really powerful that you say that.
Yeah. So I was like, I remember I was like, I was like driving around that night. I was in White Plains, New York, and I drove to.
Did you go to Yonkers? I'm just kidding.
I went to a gym. What the hell gym did I work out at? I don't
Like
even
that?
remember the gym. For some reason, I don't even remember the gym. It might, like, which is weird. But I went to the gym. I remember that. And I remember running on the treadmill, just trying to get my mind in a better place. And I'm fucking bawling, like, as I'm running. I have my music on. And thankfully, nobody's, like, noticed. Like, there was only a couple people. It was, like, you know, in the evening, a little bit later at night. And I'm just like, fuck it. Like, and I put my treadmill down to a walk, and I'm like, fucking, at this point, I'm just like, fuck it. I just don't want to be alive anymore. I'm like Googling painless ways to like kill myself. And like something on like Google, like it said something about like the George Washington Bridge is like a popular place where people like kill themselves. And then so I went back to my car and I'm fucking bawling my eyes out some more. And then I just like start driving to the bridge. I just was like driving to the bridge, which is kind of far from White Plains area to like where the George Washington Bridge is, kind of a far drive. And so I was like, had time to think. And remember, I'm just like driving and fucking bawling my eyes out. Like I just didn't want to like feel like fucking pain anymore. I just couldn't handle it. Like I didn't want to die. Like you said, yeah, I didn't want to die, but I just fucking couldn't. I was just so fucking miserable. It was like just the weight and my like fucking knots in my stomach every day, just a feeling like shit. And I drove to the bridge, like drove the whole time. I ended up driving to the bridge and like slowing down as I'm like driving over, and I'm just like bawling my fucking eyes. But like it was the point where I didn't even have any fucking tears left to cry. I'd just been crying for hours. And like I remember like driving over the bridge, I like slowed down and just like, fuck, like I don't fucking want to feel this way anymore. I don't fucking want to feel this way. And I ended up like driving past the bridge. I'm like, all right, fuck, like I have to do something. I don't want to be like this anymore. So I can't take this anymore. And I ended up driving back to my place. And I'm just like, all right, I need to fucking change my life. Like, this is it. Like, I have to fucking do something. Like, this is like, I can't fucking survive like this anymore. And so I ended up going, you know, getting back and like driving back to Minnesota after that event. And I was working with my coach or a mentor I had been working with for a couple of years. And I rehired him again because like I stopped working with him because I wasn't like putting in the work that it took. So I was like, I wasn't getting value from it, and I was paying, and I wasn't getting the value from it because I wasn't doing the work and I wasn't invested. So I stopped, you know, working with him for a while, and I hit him up and was like, fuck, man, I cannot fucking live this way anymore. Like, help me. What do we got to do? Blah, 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 blah. And I rehired him, and I went back to Minnesota, and I went back to the place where I was living with the girl. She was gone already, but it was still the place that we had lived together, the same bed. Like, it was so fucking weird. Like, even the fucking coffee cups I would use to drink coffee up would like fucking put me in that situation. So I was like, okay, fuck this. You know, my mentor challenged me. Get out of that house. I'm like, well, I don't want to break the lease. Break the lease. Find out what you got to do to break the lease. Do this. And I talk to the people. They're like, all right, you got to pay 1 month's rent. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to pay a month's rent to break the lease. If it takes that to get your sanity back and get your life back in order, you do that. Mm-hmm. And we kept challenging me to do all these things to come out of my comfort zone. And I kept doing that. I started working out again. We'd give me weekly challenges. Like every day we would chat and like keeping up with those challenges. I started working out again, you know, working on building up like my confidence and like self-worth and even like Tony people that I had met along the way had really, really inspired me and helped me to change. I don't know if you know who Junaid is. Like
Oh, I love Janine. He has the best energy. Oh my God.
And he was the first
I saw him at
20
David
person.
Destiny and you just feel his presence is like no other. Love that kid.
Yeah. And like it's so weird like how all this worked out, like everything like seemed to fall into place, like how I met Junaid, like that's a whole nother story, like by coincidence I ended up like meeting him when I went to LA, like outside of Tony events, and like had I not met him, like he like helped me get me to where I'm at now. I was back in Minnesota. I like got out of my lease and I had a few months to stay there because I had to give him a warning. And I'm building myself up. And after a couple months, I like started to build my like self-worth and all that up. And like I ended up like starting missing my ex at that point, and I went on her Instagram. I hadn't like checked it in a few months, and like she was dating somebody else like for like a couple months. So it was like a couple weeks after we'd broken up, kind of officially type shit. And it like fucking destroyed me. And I was miserable. And I ended up hitting up Junaid, and we ended up talking on like Google FaceTime or whatever you call it, Messenger shit. And like he recommended a book, because he's been through some shit in his life too, which helped inspire me. Like, fuck, if he can, like, he's been through some painful shit, which like I can relate to, in a sense. So like it like inspired me to like, and he recommended this book to me, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It.
Ugh.
And that fucking book changed my life. And basically, after a few months, I got out of Minnesota. I sold everything I owned, donated it, or threw it in the trash.
What's up?
So I literally, everything, I have a Chevy Equinox, a very tiny car, or tiny SUV. Everything I owned fit into that car. Everything else in the garbage or donated to Goodwill, or I sold it on Craigslist. And I got out and I came to New Jersey and I found a place to live. I signed a lease and I've been out here ever since. So that's like how I got into Tony Robbins.
And it's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow, wowzers. I wanted to ask you, but I didn't want to stop your train of thought. When did you get into juicing?
I actually started juicing many years ago. It's like a thing that I don't like talk a lot about. I don't know. I feel weird about it, but like I was diagnosed like with bipolar and like manic depression when I was younger, and like the medication that they used to put me on like fucking made me a zombie. Like when I was first diagnosed, they like put me on like lithium and like Seroquel and like just fucking shit that made me feel like garbage, and like I couldn't handle being on the shit. It made me tired. I slept all day. I felt like shit when I was awake, like groggy and slow. And so like I like ended up seeing I don't know, it's on Netflix. What was it? A juicing documentary on Netflix got me into it. I don't remember the name of it. His name is Joe Cross. I remember that. What is it? Oh, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's on Netflix. That got me.
Wow.
Yeah. That got me into juicing. Like that guy was like super overweight. He was on a bunch of like medications for his health problems, and he started juicing and he got off the medications. And that like inspired me to learn about juicing. And I started juicing. I noticed how it made me feel. And like I did juice detoxes, and like eventually like I'm on no medications now for any like mental stuff. And like I've like over the years I've played with different like vegetables and like things to juice, and like
and they're delicious.
And they're amazing. Like I love juicing. Like when I'm not traveling for work, like I juice 7 days a week. That's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I'll put on some Post Malone music, I'll start dancing, and I juice every morning when I get up, like every single morning. And that's like the main thing in my life that I need to do is to keep my mental like health and sanity and like everything in line. Is like I juice every day, and I love it so much.
I love it. So we have a few comments here. Hey guys, hey Jen, Jamison. I'm also an Amazon seller. I've been doing it for 1 month. Always wanted to do it, and I finally took the plunge.
What up, Danny? Yeah, brother. If you need any help at all, hit me up, brother. I got you. I'll help you if you get stuck or anything like that. Help you
and
move up.
We have a very special comment here from
Gosh.
One of our what?
I was just wondering who it would be from.
Show host. Hello.
I know. I was like, oh gosh, what'd they say? Who is it?
Oh, it's a Reeds.
Oh, okay.
I miss you guys.
What up, baby boo?
Gotta get together. So you mentioned that your your laugh just kills me.
You kill me.
So Jamison has this thing where, like, if we're driving, like, he doesn't make fun of people, but what was the thing in Jersey? It was like blue backpack. Can you?
Oh,
Like, it's not mean. Like, he's not making fun of anybody, but it's just
yeah.
funny.
I never like. I joke to everyone, and I'll fucking crack a joke on everybody, but it won't never be a jab to like hurt you or put you down. Remember, we were on our way to the unblinded thing, and we couldn't find the parking lot. And I remember there was a guy walking across the crosswalk, and he was going so slow. He had on like a blue puppy jacket. And that, what did I don't even remember what I said. I was like, let's go puppy jacket, man. Like, I don't even, like, it was like so stupid. We started dying. Let's go fanny pack.
Silly. Oh, we have somebody else. What's up?
Uh-oh.
We'll have to jump on his.
What up, Steve? Oh, Steve's amazing.
Right? Oh God, what a love bug. So I'm curious about, so you said you still travel for work, and I know you do because you say, oh, I'm here in Texas and everywhere else. And why do you travel for work? Can you explain that a little more? Like, what do you do on your trips?
Mixture of like, I love to travel. And then also like, of course, like I like to make money too. So like if a store, like if I have like a lot of contacts with, like, I do like when stores close, like Toys R Us and stuff, and like other stores close. Like I have like connections with different people that work in liquidation, like people that actually liquidate the store when they're closing, and they'll call me and be like, hey, we have a store in Austin, Texas that's closing on this date. You know, hey, would you be interested in coming buying some of the product from us? And so like if the deal like is good enough, I'll fly out there, I'll take a look at the merchandise, and then they'll like sometimes give me a better deal than what they'd give the public if I like buy out the store or I buy a big chunk of the merchandise. Like a trip that I took, I guess my last big trip, me and a friend, we took a one-way trip to North Carolina from Jersey, and we rented a U-Haul truck, and we hit like 11 stores over like a 11-day period. And like we filled up the U-Haul truck with all our merchandise, and we drove it back to our house, and then we got it to Amazon. So like, yeah, I just went to Texas back in like January. There was a store closing out there. I went out there for one store, and I went out there, flew out there, and I did all the business with the store, shipped it all up to Amazon, and flew back home. So like I fly for like closeouts and like liquidations and things like that.
So fun. So how did you build?
Yeah.
How'd you build a relationship with Amazon? I'm just laughing because Steve just wrote, "Let's go, blue backpack."
I guess like when I started doing Amazon, I was super introverted, super shy, and probably the most awkward fucking like potato casserole you ever met in your life. And like when I started to do Amazon, like I was like, there's like Amazon Facebook groups, and I would be asking people for help, like because I didn't know what I was doing. I was stuck, and like all that I remember, like that sticks out in my head, were people that were jackasses to me.
Really?
And, like people were rude, like do it yourself, blah blah blah. And I'd get to the point where I'd be in like a Facebook post, hey, I will pay you money. I don't know what to do. Help me.
Yeah.
I'll pay someone to coach me. And all that sticks out is like there either wasn't many people that were helpful, or people were jackasses.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to fucking do this, and I'm gonna fucking help everyone that I can do this. And so like over a couple of years, I just like learned everything about Amazon as I went. This was like way before it was like really Amazon was popular to sell on. Like now it's like very mainstream, and like there's like a billion courses. There were no courses then, and I learned how to do it. And like I just started helping everybody as I went. And I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you've heard of the app called Periscope. I think it was like really popular, like probably like 4 years ago. It was like
I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it is.
It was like a live streaming app. You'd go live, basically like Instagram or whatever is now. Oh, like cool. This was like one of the first live streaming apps.
Oh, I know what it is.
And I made a channel on there, and I like would go live, and I would share as I was traveling the country. I would share, where I was shopping, what I was finding. and like I was able to like help people on that, and like I built up a really big channel. Like I ended up like with like 25,000 like followers on my thing, and like I would go live and there'd be like 500 or 600 700 people watching live, and I would just share my journey, like, hey, this is how you sell on Amazon. Like I would just like want to fucking help people because I was so salty about the people that were jackasses to me. Like it was my goal to fucking give out as much information as I could for free. And I did that, and like, you know.
Have you listened to Gary Vee, or do you follow him, or have you?
I started following him a couple years ago. Yeah, I started following him a couple years ago. Like when I was doing this, I didn't know who Gary Vee was. I wasn't really into the motivational self-development thing. Like I think the first like motivational self-development thing I found was like Eric Thomas.
Love it.
And then it like slowly trickled into the
like iTunes. He has like the album. I think it's called like Stay Motivated or something. It's
I don't think I bought like a couple of his books. I did see him live in LA before, like 4.5 years ago, 4 years ago. But like, yeah, I just like wanted to help people, and like, you know, like just like, so I like, you know, just did that and made some YouTube videos and stuff, and like just wanted to help and give back. And I just like built up a network of people like over like a 5-year period of like just traveling, and like, you know, like I'd be like, oh, hey, I'm going to be in this city. Let's do a meetup. And, you know, 5 or 6 people would show up, and we'd hang out and have dinner and share advice and learn and grow. And then like, I just got into like addicted to like doing that and going to different meetups.
That's so
like,
dope.
Yeah, and just like building up a community of people and just like learning and helping each other, because there's like so much out there for everybody. Everybody can learn, everybody can grow, everybody can make money. You know, nobody has to sit around on the sidelines and lose. Like, so.
Are you still involved with something like that? Do they have different communities? Especially, I see Danny. I love and adore Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like YouTube channels and Facebook groups, and there's a lot of free Facebook groups. I'm in a couple paid Facebook groups. They have like free masterminds, paid masterminds. There's a billion YouTube channels, a ton of Instagram people you can follow and learn where they give out free advice on Amazon and stuff. And I'm just like in the community, and we're all learning and helping, building connections, and like, you know, people will share like different ways to make money, and I'll share with them. So it's like everybody's like learning from each other, because like everybody has their own area of expertise that they're really good at. So we can all just like help each other learn others. You know, basically.
And I thank you again for inviting me to the meetup in New York City for the power group, and you're just in the know and on top of that shit.
Yes. As soon as this is over, we will be back.
Mimosa
gang, baby.
Oh my gosh. Jamison and I were joking earlier about how clean New York's going to be.
She wants to lick the sidewalks.
No, I did not say that.
Yeah, you did.
I would never. New Yorkers. Oh my god. So Steve says Jamison has the Gary Vee mentality for giving free value with his Amazon expertise. That's so cool. Yeah, every time I like, because I don't sell anything yet, and you know, every time I hear him speak of that kind of thing, you just pop in my head automatically. I'm like, yeah,
I like that he does that. That like made me like Gary Vee even more. Like the last couple of years, he really got into pushing people into doing eBay and Amazon and and garage sales and stuff like that. Like that made me like him even more. Because it's like if we live in a day and age. If you have a fucking internet connection, a cell phone, like there should be no reason that you can't make a few bucks or learn different things, or like you shouldn't be struggling, because there's so much out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why I love Gary Vee, is because like he like teaches the average person like, yo, get off your fucking ass, stop playing games, get out to a fucking garage sale. Like there's like literally like, you know, I literally started doing garage sales like 5-6 years ago, before, you know, way before Gary Vee was talking about doing that. Like that's how I made my income, was going to garage sales and buying shit and reselling it on eBay and Amazon.
That's what's up.
So yeah, I love Gary Vee.
Are you saying you're like the OG GV?
I've been hustling since Gary Vee was in diapers.
OG JP GV. Hold on, I think it's time.
Oh shit!
My cheeks are red.
Are you tipsy yet?
This is not it.
What is this? Hey.
So, can we talk about why?
Of course, we can talk about whatever you want.
Your music? We had a playlist for Unblinded.
Oh, that's right. Hold up. Hold up.
Oh my God. I have a vision of us in a cab in New York City, just like going crazy.
So this is over. We're going to New York and we're going to get crazy.
Definitely trouble together.
We'll eat pizza and drink drinks and have fun.
What's up? Yeah, I'm so grateful to have a fun night.
Oh my gosh,
I'm into like everything, and even today I was like, head down in the books and stuff, and it's fun. So what do you have going on this weekend? Anything fun?
I'm just hanging out. I worked all week. I worked like 7 days in a row, so I took today off, cleaned the house, drank some wine, and kind of chilled today. Literally, I didn't do shit. I woke up, watched YouTube videos. It was like, today is my day.
What's up?
I just did nothing. Drank a couple juices, just like vegetate. Today's like my day to eat junk food, do whatever I want. Like I ate like fajitas today and just fucking did nothing. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And tomorrow,
I'm gonna hear your fajita recipe.
Oh, I don't know how to cook.
Yes, you do.
I know how to eat. You remember that one night we came back from Unblinded? It was the night that we went to that bar. Like it was upstairs, all like our Unblinded Tony people. And then me and you went and got pizza next door. And we're like, I remember on Instagram video, our pizzas were like touching tips. And then we got fucking, I mean, I'm pretty sure we both did, but I know I got annihilated that night. I remember we were at that bar till close, and it was like me,
Frank, and Jamie.
Yeah. And then we caught an Uber back to my place. And then you like cooked us hamburgers at like 3 a.m. All I remember is they were so good.
I can cook. What can I say? It's not that hard to cook hamburgers, but it was like juicing and 3 a.m. hamburgers.
Yes.
Yeah, she dropped us off.
Oh, that's right. She didn't get to come enjoy.
But we had a good time. Remember? I don't even want to get into that right now. Okay, so Jamison isn't talking the pizza from Postmates, right?
I had fajitas earlier, Steve. I had fajitas earlier.
Did you order them?
Well, I ordered fajitas last night, and it was so big that I woke up this morning and I had like the majority of it left. So I just like grubbed like at 10 this morning. I reheated them, and it was amazing.
No, you were like, he didn't make shit. He had that.
Yeah, I don't cook nothing. I can't even make toast. I don't even have a toaster.
I remember I made you and Harpreet eggs, and I asked you how you like your eggs, and you're like, you're going to make both ways. I think Harpreet had them hard-boiled. You had scrambled.
Who eats hard-boiled eggs for breakfast?
Remember, we're like, we should wrap them up and bring them to the event in case we get hungry.
I remember that.
Like, we're going to smell like shit. Let's leave them in the car.
Oh my gosh.
So I have to ask, because I'm trying to incorporate the whole chopping block with the interviews. What's your favorite food? I know the answer.
You already know the answer.
Besides tacos.
I love tacos. I love guacamole. I love pizza. I love all that.
What else? What was your favorite meal as a kid?
I don't really. My mom didn't cook a lot. I mean, she did, but I don't remember. Like nothing sticks out. Like I had a weird childhood.
Okay.
That's why I eat like a lot of good foods now. I think I'm making up for it.
What's up?
I love Mexican food. Everything across the board. Everything. And pizza. Everything. I eat a lot of Chipotle like 3 times a week. beef. There's probably a hard-boiled egg under my couch that you guys left.
Where's my ring?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's in here somewhere.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, too good. So, do you have anything else to share with everybody?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess, man, like I don't know. Like I guess like there's not. I'm pretty tipsy already. We're just drinking like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Just like fucking like, basically like what I shared like helps people and they can learn from it. Like there's nothing that you can't grow from or learn from or do. Like we live in like an amazing time where like if you have an internet connection and a cell phone, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Income, whatever you're like trying to do. Like we have so much like free information at our hands, like that there should be so much that we can accomplish and do and grow and learn and help or whatever it is you feel you're put here for on this planet. Like we have it at our hands. So like it's like, I feel it's like the easiest time to like fucking do something. So it's like, you know,
definitely
take advantage. Like literally like there's so much opportunity out there, like so much, and it's free. You don't have a college degree, need a college degree. You don't have to go to college. Like if I could go back, like, I wish I never would have went to college. Like I'm like fucking in my eyeballs in college debts and like I'm making payments, but the fucking interest is so high. It's like hard to get that shit paid off. But like, yeah, like there's so much we can do without college and like so many businesses, YouTube, TikTok, fucking Instagram. Just signed
up thanks to Angela George right before our call for this like amazing YouTube 7-day crash course. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity. So like take advantage, especially now, like, you know, a lot of people might be stuck at home by themselves or like we have a lot of free time right now. And like I've taken this time, like I've been like, we're similar. You're in New York, I'm New Jersey. Like we've been on lockdown, I think for like roughly around like 50 something days already.
60.
Or fuck. It's been a long fucking time. Yeah. I know that. And like I used a lot of the days to be fucking miserable. Like it got tough for myself, but then eventually I was like, you know, fuck, like there's so much time to learn and grow and like fucking do shit. So I've been like online doing different things, growing my business. Like my business has grown like insane the last 2 months, you know, month and a half because of this. And like I'm finding opportunities where I'm like failing and I can learn and I grow. And like after this is done, like I've learned where I can like, you know, I don't have to do like all the hard work anymore. I can like do more shit online from anywhere in the world and still like grow my business. And like, so like I have a lot of plans now. So it's like use this opportunity to like learn and like so many light bulbs have gone off in my head because of all this. So yeah, just use this fucking time to fucking, you know, learn, grow, take a course, fucking watch YouTube videos. Like there's so much free, amazing information out there that you can fucking figure out what it is you want to learn, grow, do. If you don't have a purpose, you can find one. So I don't know. That's it.
Thank you, Jamison.
I took the top off the Maybach.
I'm so happy. So now that you guys know Jamison, I hope you love him as much as I do. And shall we close out with one of our other favorite songs?
Of course. I trust you.
Really?
I trust you, whatever it is. Hannah Montana, fucking
what is it like?
Whatever. Let's do it, baby.
But you have to sing the alternative words.
Oh God! Oh my! I don't know them. I know what you're gonna play. I don't know them at all. I just know you know what they are.
What? Drop top, hot top.
Yep.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, I don't know that. I knew that's what you were gonna play.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is not it, is it? No, this is it. You couldn't find the song?
I picked Post Malone one.
I love Post Malone.
Nice voice. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday,
Peace.
and we'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. Love you.
Crash at my place, baby. I'm a wreck.